Hello and welcome to the Patches In podcast. My name is Dom and I'm here with Hamish.
Hi everyone.
And I'm here with you.
Hello everyone.
Now boys, that's how you do an intro to a podcast.
What, is this a reference to, Dom?
It's a reference to usually me fucking up, you fucking up, or all of us fucking up. Hamish, on the other hand, he never fucks up.
I rarely fuck up, and even when I'm steaming. I've not listened to it last week, but I'm pretty sure I probably nailed it.
That isn't a fuck up, you meant it.
Yeah, exactly. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. Yeah.
It's been an exciting week for a lot of reasons. The finales happened. Not a lot of crazy game news, but a lot of rumours and some interesting, exciting news coming from rumoured Nintendo for rumoured Nintendo fans, maybe. It could be a little place in Orlando might be opened up, but there also could be another portable system on its way. But we'll get into that in a bit.
Just giving away the news, mate.
so many teases there.
It's a tease. It's a tease, Hugh. It's a tease.
Tease them in.
Got to tease. You got to. Do you know what? I'll stop before I'll say something without regret. Hamish, how's your week been?
Oh, it's been great.
Can you remember it?
I mean,
take those boots off.
The bits I do remember are good. I mean, what day was that we did the podcast? The last one we did
Friday.
Yeah.
It was literally last week. It was like, it's weird how quickly this week's went by. From like, that's all I've been laughing about when I was ending the podcast. It's like, wow, he's really not here, is he?
Yeah, I was on another planet basically. I've had my crazy type. See, I'm on annual leave, and I'm coming to the end of it, but it's been perfect. I've got my blowout, getting steaming out of the way, partying for days. That's done. Then I had a couple of days just to chill and rest. I definitely needed them, and now I'm doing like productive shit, like cleaning stuff out and that kind of thing. So I've rounded it out nicely. Yeah,
it's good then. Have you been up to much otherwise than recovering?
Yeah, I've been trying to get back in the Xbox because for so long I've not been playing any games. Wait, hold on. I've not been playing any games for a long time, but I just find myself, turning on the Xbox, looking through the games, or looking through the store, being like, oh, that looks good, buying it, and then turning off my Xbox.
Yeah.
So I finally found a game, and it was actually a bundle of games. It was 2 games, and it cost me something like £2.30. So I was like,
yeah,
right, well, even if I buy this and I don't play it, it's no big deal. It's, price of a coffee. So
cup of coffee.
Yeah, I gave it a shot. The 2 games are Animal Super Squad and Sneaky Bus.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Animal Sneaky Bus.
No, Animal Super Squad and Snaky Bus.
Oh, Snaky Bus.
What are these games? I've never even heard of them, and I'm on that fucking sales all the time, and I don't remember seeing them.
Well, it was something like a Rev Up bundle or something like that. It's called something to do with cars bundle, but I think there's still a few days left on the deal. I've not actually tried Snaky Bus yet, but from the video it actually looks kind of exciting, quite interesting.
It looks nuts.
Yeah,
I've never heard of this.
It looks mad. Basically, you are a bus and you're like a big long sneaky bus.
You are a bus.
Did you buy it for the name just so you could come on the podcast to say the words snaky and bus?
Well, it wasn't so much the Snaky Bus that got me into it. It was Animal Super Squad, and I've actually been playing that one. And I mean, see, you guys have been playing things like on their Twitch, twitch.tv/patchesingaming. Hugh, you've been playing Yakuza. Dom, you've been playing Breath of the Wild. So I don't expect you guys to get such a nuanced, sophisticated game. Right?
I love that.
But basically, remember the Trials games, like a motorbike, where you get a bit of balance, so that physics-based kind of. So imagine you're a chicken on a go-kart made out of a toilet.
Okay, I'm there.
With Trials.
Wait.
That's the best way I can describe it, Hugh, right?
Wait. Say that again for me so I can put it together in my confused brain right now.
You're a chicken, right?
Okay,
right,
and you're on like a go-kart made from a toilet.
Right.
A go toilet.
So like to boost forward, it's like shooting out water from the back,
A tow cart.
Yeah.
Like, I know this is an audio podcast, but like, I can see my face, and I know how confused I feel inside. I feel like feel like I'm showing it. My eyebrows are so high on my head right now.
Yeah. So I was like, wow.
If you can't really grasp that, Hugh, you can get the car that's powered by a toaster, if that makes things easier for you.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. And you can be like I think it's a wee sloth or something like that, and a wee puffer fish. If you don't want to be a chicken, if you've got something against chickens, Hugh. Is that the part that was getting
No. Like, for me, chickens are just things I cook and eat. I didn't know they were actually an animal. I thought they just came in wee packs.
Just like, look at that bird there, just sitting there waiting for me to devour.
Yeah, they're born for me to eat. Sorry, continue. We went on a weird tangent from a weird tangent.
What a we did?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not much else I can say to describe it. No, it's actually a lot of fun. It's quite addictive, and basically just
it seems like it's been out for a wee while as well. Do you know, funnily enough, it looks like it came out at the same time as Breath of the Wild, so I'm like, how did we miss this?
I mean, that's the reason we didn't see it. Like,
exactly.
It was
Breath of the Wild.
Otherwise, yeah. I mean, if it was at least any other time, it would be, still number one in the top selling best rated Xbox game list, definitely.
It does seem like it's highly rated no matter where you go for it. Steam's got 9 out of 10, and it's it looks like it's like done. It looks like it's sold pretty well on mobile as well, like Google and Apple. So yeah. So and you got it on the Xbox, yeah.
I got it on the Xbox, and like I say, it was only like a couple of quids for the two of them, which is more than fair, even just for Animal Super Squad. I don't even need any snaky buses.
So you said it feels like Trials. Can you make your own can you create your own sort of place? Is there like a story mode going with it? Like, this is a animal squad that's super, and they're just here to kick shit, just take names.
I mean, there's not really, as far as I can tell. Well, there is like an adventure mode or a campaign where you go through, and it's just a case of getting to the end of the level. But you can also find pickups and stuff like that, like new hats to wear and stuff like that. I'm currently wearing a hat that looks like a squid, obviously. And
you can also,
that. Yeah, it's genuinely pretty damn good.
How do we fit you into the stream schedule to get this game out there?
People need to know about Animal Super Squad and Snaky Bus.
I don't even
announce it, Hamish. Announce it.
I was going to say I don't even know what our schedule is. I really should, but next time that there's an open slot, I'll show you the power of the Animal Super Squad, mate.
Oh shit.
But yeah, Tom, there's you can also get like community made levels and stuff like that, make your own levels. So there's that kind of same customize, aspect of it, which is pretty cool because it keeps it fresh. But
because I've just seen some images of it, I didn't want to play any video there because I don't want to be ruined. But the images seem like, I'm like, oh, that does look quite fun.
Yeah,
quite adventurous.
It's a solid wee game. It's actually really well made.
Is it genuinely okay?
It's genuinely okay.
Genuinely okay. Call back.
Nice. Have you ended up playing anything else, or did you watch anything interesting?
That's pretty much all I've been playing. It takes a long time to pick your toilet or toaster cart and all that, or chicken, so that's pretty much. Do
you think it, like with those types of games, that you spend the majority of the time customizing before you actually play the game, and you go, do you know what, I want to play something else, and you just turn it off, or you just go, do you know what, I'm going to have some dinner?
No, I think it's the opposite. I think it's like, I don't really care if I'm a chicken or a sloth or whatever. It's just the gameplay is actually really solid, fun. It's just enjoyable gameplay, so you don't really care. But the fact that it does actually look quite nice and polished, and that is obviously an added bonus. But yeah. But as far as watching stuff, obviously just today, the finale of WandaVision. Wow. Amazing. Fucking loved it.
I haven't watched it, but I don't care if you guys spoil it. I'm not fussed.
Oh well, our audience might. But to be fair, we'll put a spoiler warning right about now.
Okay, I'll be honest, guys. I don't know what Dom wanted from me here. A siren or a noise. But yeah, basically this is your spoiler warning.
So, see when Patrick Stewart came in?
Yeah.
And he started just motorboating everybody? It was so strange.
See,
Hugh Jackman was just like, it was.
A lot of people were speculating like, oh, this is going to bring in the X-Men, and then a lot of people didn't think it was actually going to happen, but I guess they were wrong, because when Patrick Stewart came in, I was like, is that actually him?
Yeah.
And then
it was really strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got our own Patrick Stewart with us today, don't we, Hugh?
Do you know, right? Okay, they don't know what you're talking about, but I shaved my head, right? Like,
why did you do that, Hugh?
Because I was really sick of having like longer hair. I was sick of having hair, to be honest, and then I just went in the bathroom and just shaved it all off, like right down, and my girlfriend is just not happy. She is not speaking to me.
Do you know what's even funnier? Because you just went, "Oh, Dom BRB" during the stream.
I had to get it done before going to bed though, because like it did take ages, because I had to do it properly. Like I had to like go over all the bits, because like if you miss a patch in the back of your head, like
there's no missing it. You'll see that.
Aye, like so I had to get it done, and it's so freeing, boys. Like it's just so easy.
You're not cold.
My dad. Yeah, it's very fucking cold, man. But like, my dad texts me, because I sent him a picture. I said, "Hey, look, I'm more aerodynamic now." And he texts me this morning he's like, "Hey, John, look, how's it going?" Or like, I think it was like, "Hey, Picard, how's it going?" Hey, Picard. I was like, "You bastards!" But then like I was like, I'm fine with it. Like, I don't mind it, to be honest. Like, I don't think it looks that bad, to be honest. And
all these lies he's telling himself, Tom.
Mate, like everyone's shocked because I had quite long, fluffier hair. It was quite like not bushy, but like it was just quite long at the time, and like for all of a sudden just to go with no hair. Plus, I've got a big fucking head. That doesn't help.
Got a giant thumb.
Oh man, like there's a little bit of like hairline you can see, but not a lot.
So you got the Vegeta V. So that's what you brought with, man.
I got the Vegeta V, but not the length of his hair.
No, not the what would you say, the verticalness of his hair.
Yeah, I'm going to try though. That's what I'm aiming for. I'm just going to keep letting it grow up the way. See what happens.
just hang upside down, mate, and then it'll just grow. Like, you know.
Do you know? I like people. You laugh at that, but people do that to let their hair grow.
Yep, hang upside down.
I don't think it's to let their hair grow. I think it's to let the blood like go to their head, because that supposedly helps with balding or whatever.
It's to do see with like if you're doing like either hair transplants or you're supposed to be doing like that sort of thing that sort of stimulates your hair follicles. If you have that upside down, that generally helps gravity push it. Yeah, there's some logic to it, but
I've got a wee life hack.
A good way to stretch it back.
Like if you're listening and you want to grow your hair, just get a really tight rope around your neck, and that'll keep the blood trapped.
Cut.
Fucking hell, Hamish, that was a dark turn.
He's not even drunk.
I'm trying to help people.
Have you got a noose around your head, man? Because your fucking face just went so red.
Yeah, I'm always red. I think it's because of this.
Oh. So, with WandaVision, none of that happened here. No Picard, no big surprises, no big twists, and I was quite happy for that, because I think if you build too much expectation on, cameos and surprises and that, rather than look at the proper story, you're going to lose like a lot of. I think they would lose a lot of focus on the movies that are coming out.
Mm.
What I've heard about this is it's maybe like a long movie. There's not going to be a season 2.
Nope, no season 2.
This is a setup for a new movie or a new story with Wanda, like in a movie.
Yeah,
maybe I don't know.
It definitely sets things up, but
yeah,
I'm glad, like you were saying, Dom, that they didn't kind of bring in a big twist ending or a cameo, because Vision and Wanda didn't get all that much screen time in previous films. They were extras in other people's movies, Iron Man, Captain America, people like that. So it would have felt kind of cheap if it's like, oh, here's a Wanda and Vision TV show, and then in the last episode going, oh, actually no, we were just making it to go towards this. So I'm glad that they just left it encapsulated as it is, and I think it's a nice wee story arc, and it's just self-contained, but at the same time leading into other things, but without diminishing what it is.
Yeah.
Right, Dom, I'm going to lay down some of this. Now, you were like, Dom was texting me earlier, and I said I didn't see any WandaVision yet, and he just called into question my comic book fan status.
I knew that would get you, and I was like, I'm just being pissed. Look at this. He's going to go, you're fucking...
No, what I'm going to lay down here.
You were laughing it off. You were laughing off earlier on.
But seriously.
No, I got some knowledge, right? Out of all the characters in the Avengers in the 2000s, Wanda is the most important. Like, she is the character that creates the most story, and I think it's between like 2004 and 2009 or something like that, or 2010. Like, I don't know if it is, but I was kind of hoping this would be some kind of House of M situation.
Yeah, it's taken heavily influenced by that, yeah, partly.
And then what happens at the end of House of M is, like, she says, like, I don't know, is it spoilers for a 15-year-old, graphic novel?
Spoilers for a 15-year-old graphic novel. Go.
She says no more mutants, and, like, because her powers are so fucking vast, like, so many characters just become normal humans.
Yeah.
Like, Iceman just becomes a normal human, and there's a whole thing that leads into, like, Civil War and stuff like that, like, all the other stuff. That, like, the big Marvel comics, the late 2000s, all come from Wanda. So I was like, oh, maybe they're going that route.
Well, that's what a lot of people thought, like, oh, this is how they bring in the X-Men and stuff like that. But no, it's not that. Like I say, it's its own contained kind of thing, and it's not that influenced by it. It's not like a play-by-play of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of characters. Like,
I was just happy to see WandaVision, all these other characters, as Hamish was saying, that didn't have much screen time, have their own wee bit just to flesh out, have a comedic timing, have a lot of wee scenarios. You're just like, why the fuck are they doing that? But they're always hinting at something that was always a bit off, which I liked about it. I loved the way it was directed. Loved the way the soundtrack was pretty solid in it as well. And the wee references that it gave to, like, Wanda and her brother, and yeah,
there was a lot of nice kind of callbacks and stuff like that, and
reasons why she was joined, like, Hydra. Now you're like, oh right, that's the reason why. But
even like, you remember the first time that we saw Wanda in Age of Ultron, and she would do her wee mind fuck with people. You see, like, nightmares and stuff like that, their worst fears. There's even a wee bit of that in it at the end, and that was quite cool to see.
To Tony Stark, didn't she? That's how he saw the whole Thanos thing coming.
Yeah. You also got to find out Wanda's favourite band, WanDirection. No? I thought it was okay.
For our audio listeners there, me and Hugh just couldn't look at the webcam. We just couldn't look at Hamish's face. We had to look away there.
That was funny into the joke.
Don't say anything and he'll move on.
Please. He's like, don't worry, it's only been a couple of seconds. I'm like, messages you. It's been 2 hours. Why isn't it anything else?
Guys? No? Guys?
So does this lead on, like, so would you say this is like the first season of, say, Marvel's TV shows, and then the second season will be Captain America?
Well, no, see, next we've
Falcon or whatever.
Next we've got Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
That one,
March 19th, and then after that there's Loki in June. And
I'm looking forward to that one.
I was thinking this last night when I was thinking about the WandaVision finale. I'm hoping this is kind of like, they did with Iron Man was the first of the Infinity Saga, and it all tied up. I'm hoping that they do the same with TV shows. Like, this is the first installment of what will be a greater TV universe, and it all ties up.
Yeah,
but I don't know if they're going to go that route again.
These are movie stars that require movie star payments.
Yeah, but they're making bank, mate. Like Disney, I've got plenty of money.
It's the time, though. Like, that's why a lot of these guys bow out. Like, that's why Chris Evans bowed out of being Captain America. There's the time involved. So, like, a TV show is well more work than a film, or a film every 2 years or whatever. So, like, that's probably, like, they're probably making even, like, the actors are probably making more, but, like, I don't see them want to stay there forever playing that one character. Which is why I don't think you'll get, like, 10 seasons of, like, WandaVision or Loki or whatever. Because, like, Tom Hiddleston probably costs fucking a shit ton of money. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But it's good that they're bringing him back, because, like, his death in, like, Infinity War was, like, shocking. and you didn't really get a goodbye with that character because he was such a beloved character, you're going to get this 10 episode season to say, oh, here's your way of saying goodbye to Tom Hiddleston as Loki, probably.
Yeah, and the thing is, they have said, like, some of these shows are just going to be one season. Like, we know that before we're even, like, starting them. So, which is good, you know what I mean? Because you get so many, like, studios that are thinking, oh, this is really popular. All right, okay, fuck, we'll just make another one, you know, we'll just make more. But the fact that they have a set beginning, middle, and end, hopefully will mean a better story. I don't know if WandaVision is one of them. I could see it definitely coming back for a second season, but I just don't know how they would do certain aspects of it. It wouldn't be anything like this one, you know what I mean? It'd need to be completely different because the whole basis of it is gone now. But at the same time, there's potential. I think the Loki one's just going to be one and done season, you know. But,
yeah, it feels like that.
But who knows?
I kind of hope it is, because I hope they don't just go, all right, that's Loki back in Loki back in the continuity now. He's ending, and his death by Thanos didn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his death now means more because you know it's final.
Yeah.
Like, this character isn't the same Loki. It's the Loki they kind of create in Endgame. So, like, it's not the same guy, but
he's not been reformed. He's not had that time with Thor. He's not had, you know, it's basically evil Loki.
This is a what if side story, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which
Speaking of which, that's coming out soon as well, isn't it? The what ifs.
I haven't kept up with the schedule coming out because
it's been delayed and stuff like that, man. It's been, you know, but that will be out soon. The animated shots. Yeah,
man. I wonder how many fucking shows are going to come out the end of this year and the middle of next year, because like it's just like going to be like a dam breaking of just like so many things that were in production. You're just going to get hit with it. Yeah, it's going to be good. Like, it's just a big content city.
I mean, they're still holding on to Black Widow. They just do not want to release that.
Because
it's so strange.
They want it in the cinema because it's going to make fucking billions, and they know they don't want to put it on Disney Plus because it's very easily transferred to the internet to be given out for free.
The thing is, I mean, it would have made it mega money anyway, but the fact that everyone's been just champing at the bit to go to the cinema, I know I have. I just want to see that row of lights going up to my seat.
Mate, I know.
It's going to make it's going to break records easily.
I want to step beside some fucking annoying loud bastard as they cough their way through a film.
Me and Dom.
Well, not cough their way through it. You'd be like,
No. I'm going to tell you how Dom talks through things, right? Dom, how do you talk through stand-up comedies? If you've seen it before, what do you do?
Quote everything just before they happen to say it.
Yes, you fucking dick.
You know, he finds that more fun than watching the stand-up comedian, mate. That's all it is.
He looks at you before he says the punchline and says the punchline, and I'm like, shut up.
Hey man, like that was years ago. I've really restrained from doing that. I've honestly tried so hard to do it because I'll sit on my hands going because I've seen it before.
What's even just as bad is like, oh, this bit's really funny, and it's like, well, I'll find that out myself, all right?
Here's Dom, you fucking asshole. Yeah,
I hate you, Dom.
No, I know the exact feeling as well, man. So
when I used to go to the cinema all the time because I've got the unlimited card. Like, we'd go at night because see, we go during the day. There's kids. There's kids, man, and kids don't want to be in a cinema. Stop taking them to the cinema. They don't want to go. Like, they just run around. They don't want to sit for 2 hours and watch a film.
Aye, but it's the parent that wants to see the film. And
who cares about them, Hamish? Who cares about them?
I think I'm just going to start saving up now and then just buy out a whole cinema, a whole hall. Just that'd be so worth it, man.
Last film I saw in the cinema was Tenet, and it was well worth it. I need to watch that again, but Tenet was really good.
I think the last one I saw was like Birds of Prey or something like that.
Fucking hell, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
I'm sure I saw it in the cinema.
Something like that.
And I thought it was good until I left and I thought about it and I was like, that wasn't actually that good. Like,
Hamish, is that everything you want to talk about? Is there anything else?
Pretty much, man. Just, while we're kind of still on the subject of WandaVision, like, I'm a wee bit unsure of what Falcon and the Winter Soldier Or
Yeah.
it's that way around, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know. I've never found them particularly interesting characters. So
they were great in Civil War together because they don't like each other.
yeah, they were funny, but
I like them, but they're always overshadowed by Chris Evans, weren't they? Like,
I just feel like Wanda and Vision are much more interesting characters. There's a lot more in my mind that could happen with them, with magic and all that. But I suppose there's still plenty of avenues where anything could happen. It's a Marvel show, but
what I want with Falcon and Winter Soldier is a buddy cop show where they try and hunt down Hydra members, but it's like slapstick, or like Falcon's try to run in Cap's old suit and like trips up and stuff like that. Like that's what I want.
Yeah.
And Bucky runs up and goes on your left, and he's like, "Oh, you."
Yeah.
I just think it's going to be like they start really strong with WandaVision, and then there's a bit of a lull with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then when Loki comes, hopefully, it's back up to.
Do you think that's because they're more grounded? Like they don't have wild powers. Like one guy's got a flying suit and one guy's got a metal arm.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's less. Well, I say there's less potential, but anything that can happen. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're in a different universe. They're in the same universe where all kinds of shit and shenanigans can happen. So, and that's not to say that there needs to be all kinds of mystical weird shit to make a good show. I just feel like they've got less to work with from the base. So if they are able to make this as good a show, it's even more impressive, I would say.
What movie are you looking forward to that they've announced? Like, what one are you like, I cannot wait to see that? I know there's a few. I mean, there's Guardians 3. Yeah. There's Thor 4.
I really want to
see
see
Strange 2.
I want to see how they do Doctor Strange 2 as like a horror.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Is interesting. Like, how are they going to pull that off?
It's the multiverse thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like that's what again, spoilers maybe for WandaVision at the end. They were trying to maybe hint at that, Hamish.
Yeah,
like with Wanda and was it not the Book of the Damned? Was it called?
I can't remember, but I know the one you mean. But that one that even references Stronger Than the Sorcerer Supreme. It's talking about Doctor Strange and stuff like that. So
you're like, oh shit. So yeah.
What? Right. This might be getting off into a tangent, but like, is the book anything to do with the Devil's Son or Mephisto or anything like that? No.
No.
And they don't really go in depth about it. They just say this book. Ooh, and you're like, okay, it's a book, and Wanda's feel like, what the fuck is that? And by the end of it, you see
when you watch it, we'll have a more in-depth conversation, and that gives our listeners a bit of time to watch it as well, because obviously it just came out today. You know what I mean?
So see on the sorry to segue off of that as well. Is there any movies that you've been dying to see in the cinema since it's like the cinema's been stopped? Because do you know what came into my head when I was thinking about that when you guys were talking? Do you remember Connected? The movie trailer that released by the guys that did Spider-Verse, and it was about the family that were going cross country to get the daughter to college, and then robots start attacking.
No, I didn't see it.
Doesn't ring a bell, no.
No, so I was like. No, so it's from Sony Pictures, the guys that did the Enter the Spider-Verse, and I've just checked there, and it's like, I'm like, oh yeah, it's called Connected, but now they've changed the name, and Netflix has just bought the rights to it, and I was really looking forward to seeing that in the cinema. I was like, oh fuck, god damn it.
Yeah, it's going to be a real bummer if cinemas start to go downhill because they realise that selling it to Netflix or releasing it on their own streaming service is actually better for them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to hate that. I love cinema.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. Danny McBride's in that as well, man.
Danny McBride's in it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He's funny.
It had the Fall Out Boys song that, look at the ha hopes for will live. It's like that true. I was like, yeah, what a fucking tune.
It's definitely not Fall Out Boy, mate.
It's Fall Out Boy.
No, it's not.
Is that not Panic at the Disco?
Yeah.
Is it? I thought it was Fall Out Boy.
I'm sure it is.
Is that Fall Out Boy?
No.
Is that Brandon Urie?
They all sound the same to me, Hamish.
Brandon Urie climbing up the building and stealing Placebo's music video, basically.
It's the other way around.
Yeah.
So is Panic at the Fall Out Boy?
Down the building.
Anyway, that's been my week. Thank you, Dom.
Awesome. Sorry for that crazy pop culture reference segue there. Hugh, how's your week been, man?
Oh, mate, it's been something else. Actually, it's been pretty fucking normal, which has been...
Which is it, Hugh? It can only be one of them.
Well, all I've really done is play Ghost of Tsushima on Sunday, like last weekend. I played loads of that, and I was getting really, really into it. I was getting into it to the point where it was 4:30 in the morning, and Sinead had to come into the room and get me. Like, and she's like, "Are you coming?" I'm like, "What time is it?" like it was one of them good ones where you don't realize the time. And then obviously Monday I was streaming Yakuza, and that game just keeps opening up into something better, man. Like I get annoyed with the length of the cutscenes because I'm streaming, because I'm like, oh, I'm not actually playing this game. And then I don't want to talk through the cutscene because I want to understand what's going on. Yeah. And then I don't want to talk through it in case someone else is watching and wanting to understand what's going on as well. and then when you get into the gameplay, it gets really fucking good. Like, the battling's really fun, and like all the side missions are really interesting, and the game looks phenomenal. I've said this a million times. I just want more time with it, so I'm thinking about starting to stream a little longer, like 3 hours instead of the 2 hours, so I get more time with it. Because I know the game is between 40 and 60 hours, depending on how much side stuff you do, and I want to do loads of side stuff, because that's where the gold is. That's where you get somehow own a business selling rice crackers, but there's also a chicken called Omelette that you use as your friend to come and give you special powers during a battle. Like, what about also the fact that you were doing Mario Kart in the last stream as well? Yeah. There's just suddenly 20 hours into the game a Mario Kart minigame that you just have to play. And there was like a sumo wrestler there, or you just feel like, oh, I'm going to beat you, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? There's a sumo wrestler, there's a giant Rey Mysterio, there's a bunny girl, and I like, what was I doing? There was this drunk guy, a drunk old movie star who was like washed up, and he was being sick, and I said, oh, I'll go get you a bottle of water, and I was trying to run to the shop to get my bottle of water, and then I get sucked into this underground world of Mario Karting through the city, and I'm like, this game, man, like... you know what the development sounds like to me? They just had one big meeting, invited everyone in the company, and you know the phrase, like, there's no bad ideas? Everyone wrote down a suggestion on a bit of paper and just handed it in, and they just found a way to put them all into their game. Mate, it's so big, and I've not seen glitches in this game. No glitches in it, lad. There's no, there's no issues that you get with like Cyberpunk, right? And you think Cyberpunk's a huge game, it's going to have issues and stuff, but like Yakuza's a huge game as well. Mm-hmm. No issues. I don't know what's going on there. Maybe they're reusing a lot of assets from Yakuza 6 or Yakuza 0, but like, man, I can't fault it. It gets a bit repetitive and the cutscenes are a bit long, but like, I still enjoy it. After I'm finished, I'm still very happy with it. Mm-hmm. I put Assassin's Creed on the back burner because I just don't have the hours for that yet. Like, I'm going to get to it because I still like it, but when you're playing Ghost of Tsushima and Yakuza, like, they're too long to have another third 60-hour game in there. Yeah, you've said before Ghost of Tsushima is kind of very similar to Valhalla anyway, haven't you? So yeah, you've got that aspect of it covered. You don't really need more of that. Mate, see the thing with Ghost of Tsushima, it's again, it's the side stuff. Like, there's a lot of really good side stuff in it. Like, to get special armor and weapons, there is missions for it, but it's like, it's almost like a riddle. I know Assassin's Creed did this, where they don't actually just point out on the map. Yeah. Like, there's like riddles that go along with it, and like legends, and you have to kind of unlock this legend. And then there's other people also going for the legends. You have to duel them to get these abilities, and like, it's all, what is that? What's the Japanese director called that made all the really great samurai films? Oh, Hamish, you let me. It was the Twitchy. I watched it with you years ago. Oh, what's his name again? Is it? It's not Kurosaki, is it? That might just be a Japanese name I made up. I will just Google it. Yeah. Hold up. Let's see who can do it quickest. Akira Kurosawa. Akira Kurosawa. Yeah. Yeah, like, there's all that kind of, his way of framing a shot during duels, and then the music hits, and you're like, this is really, really dramatic, and I'm really, really into this. Like, it's just... It stings and stuff when you just, like, you're standing... Yeah. Like, it's just a game with a lot of atmosphere. Like, I can't believe it took me this long to really get into it. I bought it the day it came out, and I enjoyed it, but, like, I think the upgrade to 60 frames per second actually made the game more enjoyable. Which is wild, because you would think that,
having the game for so long.
Sorry to interrupt. I think it's Takeshi Kitano. Is it not?
Takeshi Kitano.
Takeshi Kitano.
One of them, mate. One of them.
Good. He's a good director.
Yeah.
He's a great director, should we say? Not a good director. He's good. He's all right.
Takeshi Kitano. He was in. I just realised he was in Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, he's done quite a lot of cool stuff.
Like, mate, he is the coolest motherfucker in that film.
Mate, he does a voice in Yakuza 6.
And he's one of the most famous guys in Japan because he's obviously Takeshi from Takeshi's Castle as well.
He's also in Battle Royale.
If you've heard of Beat Takeshi, that's the same guy.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's him that does all these cool scenes or whatever, but like that game is really good, and like both of you should play this at some point because I know you would both really love it.
Mate, see, the other day, like before I found the absolute treasure that is Animal Super Squad, I was honestly looking at like my ready to install, and obviously they're all on Game Pass now, the Yakuza games, and I did play one of them. I think it was Zero. I can't remember, briefly for one of our videos on our YouTube, and I did enjoy it. You know, it's just the length of time that's putting me off.
See, if you want to play Zero, by the way, I've played Zero for about 10 hours as well. You have to put at least 10 hours in just to get by the beginning of that story. Like, there's so much setting up.
Yeah.
There's so much setting up, man. There's like I was like, wait, what's happening here? The main story hasn't started yet. I'm just kind of going through the day of these two guys, and then you get to a point where you're like, okay, we're at the part of the story. Right, the guys are just like really good storytellers. I don't know if that's good, but it just gets me.
No, I think if you've got the time, then that's definitely good. I mean, you want to feel engrossed in this world, and if they just give you this character and it's like, oh, this is you, by the way, so you like you. It's like, well, I don't even know who this person is. How can I feel anything for them? You know what I mean? Obviously it comes down to if you have the time to spend learning it and playing that game. But the more, comprehensive a world is, then it's only going to get you more invested and make you enjoy the game more. At least that's my perspective.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so definitely play. I know both of my games are very Japanese, but like play them both, man. Like play Ghost of Tsushima with Ghost of Tsushima on you know how there's a PS Plus collection, kind of like Game Pass. I don't know if it's on that yet, but it probably will eventually because it's a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah. This month's the Final Fantasy VII Remake and a few other things that are on it this month, but it might be in the next wee while because it'll have like the PS5 free upgrade as well if that's the case.
Man, it's
kind of
so
loosely related. Is it not PlayStation that's bringing back the Play From Home thing soon, and their Ratchet and Clank's going to be free?
Yeah, is that for the NHS workers and stuff like that?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did hear that they were bringing that back.
Wait,
anyone that's
Sinead could get free Ratchet and Clank?
I think that's the case, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let her know, she'll be very happy.
My sister-in-law was asking about it as well.
I thought it was just Play From Home, like to keep people in the house.
Yeah, I felt like it was like for workers' families, essential workers' families and stuff. I thought that's it.
Workers are the people that can't stay home, though, as everyone else.
For the family. For the family.
Oh, right, okay. Right.
I can't wait for that Ratchet, by the way.
You know, I love Sinead like a sister, man. Just, send the code my way.
Send that Ratchet your way, Hamish. Because I have is it the first one, Dom?
Yes.
I have the first one, so we'll share the code out for 20 quid, right?
Oh, wait, don't limit yourself. Put a bid on that.
Put it on eBay, man.
I can't wait for that new Ratchet, man. That new Ratchet's going to be because the PS5 doesn't have a lot of games out, and I won't play Demon's Souls. Fuck that shit. So Ratchet and Clank.
Have you been watching anything or playing anything else, man?
Watching some more Dexter, man. Season 2, excellent.
Oh, one of the better seasons, definitely.
Yeah, season 2 is just really good. It deals with a lot of do you know when you're younger, you don't really get a lot of the emotional trauma that, see when you're younger, you're as dudes, we're just dumbasses when we're in our late teens, early 20s. We're just fucking
early 30s, yeah.
I know, but later on you start going, yeah, I get why he's feeling like that. If you know what I mean,
it's very easy to just kind of look at it and say for example in a movie or whatever, someone's family dies, and then they're moping about. You watching a film, you might be like, right, come on, get on with it, go and do something. But when you're older and a bit more emotionally mature, you're like, oh, fuck, man, he must be hurting bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting from the show. I'm like, I get why these characters are acting like the way they are now because that's how you deal with it in long-term relationships and
You understand
certain
the
stuff
motivations
happens.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm actually enjoying it more now, even though I've seen it all. I now understand the story better.
Yeah.
Like, it's just really good, man. Dexter's a show that doesn't really get... Because the ending was so divisive, it doesn't get enough praise for the good things it did. It did a lot of good shit.
Yeah. And everyone just sort of, like, they harp on about the end. It's the same way they did with Game of Thrones and that. Like, they'll harp on about the ending of that, but you go, well, what about everything else that came before it? Nah, it's all ruined. But then,
it's a shame,
yeah.
What I was thinking, like, see with Game of Thrones, they got, like, 6 good seasons, Hamish?
Aye, yeah. Well, how many was there? 8 altogether?
I think so, I think it was 8.
7 or 8. Aye, the first 6 are definitely solid, I'd say so.
Do you think the issue was that it was building to something? Like, Dexter isn't, like, every season building towards some massive point in the future. Do you think Game of Thrones, because it was building to that final moment, and then they somehow were like, look, we need this final moment to be, like, 2 hours. And they were like, alright, done.
I think it was a mix of a lot of things, honestly. Like, partly because they surpassed George R.R. Martin's works, and that was obviously what got the show famous in the first place.
Yeah.
And then, they had to kind of stand on their own 2 feet. But then also, same with, like, Lost, for example. If you watch that, they're hitting out with all these great ideas, but there's no way that they can resolve all of them. So, they were going in too many directions, and they also probably wanted to please too many people, but just...
Yeah. You try to please too many people, you please no one as well.
Do you think that asshole George R.R. Martin's sitting there going, fuck man, I don't know how to finish this either, like...
Yeah.
I mean,
well, he even said, like... He even
Olive.
said just before the pandemic hit that, if I don't finish this book before a certain date, you can put me in jail until I figure it out. And that time is long gone, so I don't know if he's in jail yet.
I think all I've really heard of him say from like the show and stuff like that is, well, my version of that character wouldn't have done that, which is a very reserved, polite way of saying it. Like, what the fuck are they doing?
I think they were trying to get out to do that Star Wars thing pretty quick, and then Star Wars like kind of crumbled because they fucked up Star Wars 2, and they were like, right, everything's cancelled until we figure this out, and they were like, shit, fuck, we could have waited and done Game of Thrones longer. But anyway, by the by, Dexter, great, rewatch it. Dom, have you actually seen it?
Yep.
Like, rewatch it though before this new season comes out.
Yeah,
reimmerse yourself. Yeah, reimmerse yourself in that world because it's actually very fucking good.
Yeah, I can always remember enjoying it. Like, really enjoying like the psychological parts of it. Like, like you always find that bit where Dexter gets close to someone. Like, what was not the one that he married, the Miss Pardon My Tits. What's her name again? English Lila.
Lila. I'm in that. See, that's season 2, man.
Yeah,
like,
I fucking loved her. Like, just for being such a. She's a pain in the ass.
In that season as well. Like, I love Deb. I think she's brilliant. And one of the best lines of the whole show is when Dexter's got like a room with loads of candles lit for Lila, and Deb walks in. She's like, "Jesus Christ, Dex, are you trying to fuck her or set her on fire?" Fucking classic, man.
Yeah, they had really good chemistry there too. And like,
definitely.
But speaking of chemistry, Dokes and Dexter, and then they killed
off
my boy Dokes in the second
season. They had to. Dokes was
when we talked about this, when we talked about this last week, when you were like saying your favourite character Dokes, and we both just went, "Fuck, man, he was such a good character.
Yeah, he's so fucking good, man." See,
they done my boy wrong, but man, made him.
See when Dokes stares at him and he's like, "You're a weird motherfucker." Like, you're like, "Yeah, he is, Dokes. Yeah, he is."
It was one of those things where like, he's such a likeable character, Dokes, but obviously you're kind of rooting for Dexter, even though he's a serial killer. And it's good when you get that kind of debate, like, which one do I actually want to prevail here? You know what I mean? Like, that shows
someone
a
that's
good
doing his job as a detective, and the other one that is, sure he is picking his victims and he's picking, bad people, but he's still like, that's bad behaviour that he's got. Yeah, so it's very
But like, that's the thing, they somehow got you rooting for Dexter, even though Dexter's technically the bad guy, because he's the murderer.
Yeah.
Dexter didn't kill Dokes.
Same as Breaking Bad. You know what I mean? That divided a lot of people. Like, obviously, Walter White's, whose story you're following, but he did a lot of bad shit. And I remember getting near the finale of that, and everyone's like, you're not supposed to root for him, but part of you just felt like you had to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Being on the journey with him, the anti-hero, basically, to full-blown drug deal. TV.
That reminds me, I've still not watched the latest season of Better Call Saul. Like, I feel like I have to get into that. Like, I enjoy it, but I'm like, I have to give that show my 100% full attention.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's made with such care, like, with such skill that you're like, I'm going to give this the respect it deserves. Like, it's a show that every episode is a movie, and you've got to sit and you've got to watch every second. But, like, I just haven't felt, like, ready to, like, watch it yet. Man, Vince, is it Vince Gilligan? He should just create shows in this universe. Like, I just want him to create shows in that universe forever.
Yeah.
See, the thing I was going to say earlier on is totally unrelated, but it was because you mentioned Star Wars. Have you heard, like, you know, the open world game that's coming out? And it's Ubisoft is making it.
Right.
The Ubisoft CEO said the other day this open world Star Wars game is going to be groundbreaking. And part of me is like, right, cool, that sounds awesome. And part of me's thinking, you don't get to say that. That's like me saying last week that I'm a 10 on this podcast. Like, it doesn't sound legit when it comes from you. You know what I mean? Like, you would obviously fucking try and sell that. Like,
yeah.
Ubisoft's like, this is going to be a groundbreaking game. It's like, it's Star Wars, mate. It should be in space. Where is the ground?
Why me jumping into barrels of hay?
Come on,
space hay.
That was worse.
Space hay.
That was worse than WanDirection, Hugh, by a mile.
Do you know what? If you're going to give anyone an open world game to make, you know, Ubisoft's not a bad company to do it. They make very, very serviceable open world games. Sometimes they hit it out of the park, and you're like, that's a classic. Far Cry 3, fucking some of the Assassin's Creed are really fucking good, but sometimes
love Black Flag.
Sometimes they get that equation, the algorithm, and they just follow it.
Yeah, and you know for a fact in this open world Star Wars game, there's going to be collectibles galore. It's going to be like find all 150 Jedi holocrons and Sith holocrons and fucking 300, I don't know, training droids and stuff like that. Like, you know, there's definitely going to be an aspect to that. But
did you like my tweet?
What was your tweet?
I've been tweeting a lot on the Patches In Twitter, twitter.com/Patches In.
No one goes to that. You just say at Patches In, mate.
As at Patches In.
You're just showing your age now between that and the baldness, mate.
I don't care. I'm embracing it, Hamish. I think I said something like, I go on the podcast and berate Hamish about how bad Ubisoft is, and then I go home and giggle as I collect my 250th collectible in Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
That's it,
yeah, I remember that was very good.
Like, it's true though. Like, I always say, like, Ubisoft are average at everything they do, but sometimes they do fucking good work.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, every Rayman,
they're reliable. Like, meaning like, you know, you'll get a decent game. They don't always knock it out of the park, but you know, it'll be good enough. But,
yeah.
And this is coming from an Ubisoft fan.
Yeah. So, Hugh, did you get up to anything else then?
Not much, mate. Obviously busy with like life shit. Try to fit in all your stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's a pile of games I want to play, and I'm just going to put more time into them. Catch us streaming Monday. Catch me streaming Tuesday, Thursday. You Monday, Wednesday. Hamish will fit in there playing I'm a
wild card, mate.
I know, like you'll fit in there somewhere.
It's not Snaky Bus, mate. What's the other one?
Oh no, tell me again.
I don't Animal Super Beasts or Animal Super something.
Animal Super Squad. My God, guys!
Super Squad.
Why have you not written this down as a must play?
Man, I've got a memory like a fucking sieve, so just go through, man. I'll catch something that you say and go, what? Alright, something.
Do you know what I love about this, Hamish, right? I know how many games you've got, and I know how many good games you've got, right? You've probably got more than me, and I've got 300 and something games on my fucking Xbox.
Well, when I was looking at my ready to install last night, I think it was 520 something.
Right, and I know you've not played all of them.
No,
I know you haven't. So like, you've went on and you went, hey, I want to buy something, and you went, this is the only thing that's piquing my interest, even just a little, so I'm going to buy this. Mate, that's what happened in it.
Chicken in a toilet cart thing. That's all it had to say to me, and I was like, yep, okay, I'm in.
Talk up.
Okay, fucking
hey, I'll stream it and you'll see, and honestly, you'll be like, I'm impressed.
I hope so. I hope so. But other than that, Dom, nothing. I've been doing nothing else. What have you been doing?
Yeah, what you been up to, Dom?
What have I been up to? Apart from streaming at twitch.tv/patchesingaming Breath of the Wild every Monday and Wednesday until we complete it.
Alright guys, you two just flexing your Twitch streaming. Like, I'll get on to it soon, right?
Hamish, you know what's so funny? See when Dom dies, I laugh, right? And you just see him and like in the stream, and he's like, he just reads my message and his face goes all like sad and angry at the same time. Like, fuck you, Hugh.
It makes me sangry.
How would you not be expecting that from Hugh, though? Let's be honest. You should be prepared for that.
Don't worry, there's not a lot of horse killing in this one. Apart from that one time that I set one on fire, it was pretty bad.
Hamish, man, did you see how many horses this man kills?
I think I saw the first one, but then every time I've been back to the stream, it's all people talk about, so it must be some kind of massacre.
No.
Horse murderer.
I am not a horse murderer. So I've got to one last divine beast that I need to get to. I've just stopped the stream right at a little special place. So anyone kept watching, got through to the Great Deku Tree, there's a little sword that I need to pull out of stone. But if you join us on Monday, you'll see how well that will go.
That's a nice
Spoilers,
tease.
it goes really bad. I can tell you that right away. But that's the only game I've really been playing this week. Unfortunately, I've just been kind of swamped with work, which kind of sucks. But since I've not had a lot of time to game, I've had a lot of time to watch things. And I got to watch a little BBC series called
a BBC series.
A BBC series. It's I don't know, Hugh. You may have heard of this, Hamish. I don't know, Hamish. I think you may have heard of it. The Thick of It.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
So
Peter
Capaldi's sort of leading role, that's made him like, crazy popular with a lot of people because it's like he's like a spin doctor for the government.
Mm-hmm.
And see, watching it now, considering like what everything that's been going on with like the pandemic and things with Brexit, holy shit, this is exactly what they must be like. It's kind of scary. Like some of the things that would come out with and how, it's like, it's funny. And then some parts come out at you and you're like, oh, that's disgusting. Who would do that to their own? And you're like, politicians would.
Yeah.
They would do that. Yeah. They would sell each other out so quickly. So I've got to watch season 1 and 2. I was just about to watch the special. They've got like a movie as well, set in America.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty intense. Malcolm Tucker, you've probably seen compilations. That's the first experience I got with anything with Peter Capaldi swearing, because I always remember Peter Capaldi acting like in other sort of roles, and then I was like, oh look, that's him in Paddington Bear. Look at me, he's like all nice and happy, and then this he's like, you fucking dick. No, whoa, screaming at everything. I think it was like, what was the joke they said? Like it was the Spin Doctor's headquarters, and they're off Scottish. And they're like, it says, oh, is this the fucking Caledonian squad or something? What's going on here? That was like, what they off? Oh, there's a lot of good jokes. There's a lot of twists that you don't see. There's ones that you didn't see coming, and it's all kind of based on the UK government, what they're going through. Like, they don't really name parties, but you can kind of guess who they are.
Yeah.
But then sometimes they'll do something that isn't like a party. So, for instance, there's like the one that you'll be like, oh, that must be like that's definitely a Tory party. That doesn't make, the way that they're doing that's quite a right-sided way. But then the leader of that party would say something that's like, I don't understand why we're not progressive. I don't understand why we don't have these. And you're like, oh, why would you? Okay. And then you go to the one that you're like, okay, that's quite left-leaning. They're very about immigration and okay, that's pretty good. And then the guy's like, I don't know anything about EastEnders or anything. I'm so out of touch with everything. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? And it's like,
keep you guessing.
Yeah, and it's great. It's all on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it, I do highly suggest watching that, and then we can probably talk about it. But
I love my politics, Tom. I'm going to actually watch this.
Yeah. There's like a lot of episode 1 starts with someone basically getting sacked, and then they're bringing in a new. I think it's Secretary of Health on that. Was it? I think it's the Secretary of Health, but they basically social affairs. Social affairs and citizenship. That is it, because they added that, so it's like DOSAC. So that's like so it's like starting from the point of someone getting let go to show you what this new administration is going to do, and you have Pierre Capaldi. You have his character come in and basically, if anything goes wrong, he will be the one to be like, this is what we're going to do, and we're going to have ITV say this and have BBC saying that, and you see him going in and editing footage to make other people look bad, and you're like, oh, and he's like
we do that in this podcast too.
We do.
Yeah, Hugh, you usually sound horrendous, and we just try to salvage stuff, but it doesn't work.
Good jump in there, Hamish. Good politician move.
But it's like, remember that film Christian Bale plays Dick Cheney? Was it just called Dick, or what was it?
It was
it's called Dick.
Yeah. Vice. Yeah.
What a scary film that
it's
is.
Like that. It's like, you kind of watch it, and you're like, holy shit, man, this is really what it's actually like, and it's like, you see how the sausage is made, and you're like, oh man, that's terrifying. You know what I mean?
It's very cutthroat.
Yeah.
The American politics is a lot worse than the British ones. The British ones are just like, it's all about the newspapers and what they say, rather than America. It's all about, let's dig up shit on them just to let's spin it in a way, and we'll use religion against them and that as well. And it's like very uncomfortable what the Americans will go through just to, get one up on you.
Hey, look, we've got at least one American fandom, right?
Yeah.
They probably agree with us, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's, the Americans, though, they have their ways of voting and the way that they would like to carry themselves, and it's always nice, but their constitution's a lot different from what we would have in the British politics ones as well, because we even have issues like for our sort of ones for it as well. We've got like the Scottish one, and so it's all a bit more complicated than the other. And they've also got to deal with like gun control and everything like that. It's all
fucking hell, man.
It's completely different, mate.
I love Dom watching, try to walk this tightrope, not offend either side.
Am I doing well? Am I nailing it?
You've done very well.
Have I dropped all the plates?
Because if he doesn't nail it, mate, they'll come over and fucking shoot him, right?
We'll see half of our listeners drop off. Either our one American or our one British one.
Hey, the Portuguese are still there.
Yeah, always.
Portuguese?
I fucking appreciate
there he goes.
Portuguese people.
Or she goes.
What else have you been watching, Dom? You said you've been... I'm moving this swiftly on.
So apart from that, WandaVision, caught up with that, enjoyed that. Going to start on a couple of shows, obviously with Stars being on that. I think I was talking about that last week. But the pick of it just basically...
I wouldn't remember what you were talking about last week, Dom, sorry.
I know you did, mate. I know. You can re-listen to our last podcast. Definitely.
No, because see, if I don't, listen to it, then it never happened. So
Exactly.
Ignorance is bliss, mate.
I decided to also watch a movie that I've been putting off for a long time. A movie that involves an archaeologist, Nazis. It's
Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, do you know what? I was about to say aliens as well, Hamish. As well, that was very interesting. But no, it's Lupin the Third. The first movie came out.
I was going to say Jojo, but...
Aye. So this is from Monkey Punch, who unfortunately last year passed away, who created Lupin the Third, who was it's basically like an anime James Bond-esque thief who runs about just having, a good time. Lupin was like one of the first animes I ever seen as a kid, so that's what got me into watching anime. That was before Dragon Ball, before any of that was Lupin. It's a very, these movies are quite, by the book. This happens, then this happens, then this happens, then this happens. That's it. It's basically thief has something that could help plot at the end, meets a girl who has something that helps plot at the end. Evil guys are there that have something to get to the plot at the end. The movie ends. That's it. That's basically kind of a Lupin movie.
Quite formulaic.
Yeah, but with this one, this was the first CGI version that they did of it, and it looks gorgeous. I was going to message you and say, do you know what I would really love to see in this? Maybe like a JoJo-esque kind of movie like this, because the style for it is, it's gorgeous. Like,
who did it? Do you know the studio?
The studio who did it was TMZ Entertainment, and is it Masa Animation Planet? I think that was the other one. Like, I tried my best to research for a lot of it, but see, the thing is, the movie was supposed to be out last year, and then obviously with everything that happened, everything got pulled back. So I managed to find it by a certain means, and I managed to watch it, and not the intended way. I was rather watching it in Japanese because that's the way I usually watch like the TV show and the movies. But it wasn't dubbed particularly well that we see now, where if you watch something that's from a different country and they got it CG'd, they'll do different lip syncs for it, so it fits well with the English. It didn't really do that well with this move over to it, but yeah, looks gorgeous. It's a lot of fun. If you've never watched a Lupin movie, you'll probably enjoy it because it's a bit more unique to what you would usually watch on for anime. But if you've seen any other Lupin movie, yeah, it's the same thing that happens in it. Apart from Nazis are in it this time. I don't ever remember him fighting Nazis before. But yeah.
The Japanese are quite quick to put Nazis and stuff, man. It's weird.
I mean, if you need a bad guy that the vast majority of people hate, Nazis a good go-to. There's only one small subsection of people that still like Nazis, and that's Nazis. So it's a safe bet for a bad guy that people hate.
Yeah. Was this the one that was being advertised while we were in Japan?
This was the one that was like the CG one. We got like the wee coffee cans that had like the original artwork from Monkey Punch like on it.
Ah, right, cool. Aye.
And it was nice because like I was sending pictures to my brother about it because like that was again the first anime that we ever watched, and I was like, oh man, look at they got Lupin there, and they've got all these other characters there, and like that's what makes these movies or the series great, is the way that the characters act with each other. Like there's Jiren, who has got like this is so strange because like he's a character that you never see his eyes. His hat's always covering his eyes, but because everything's 3D, like he'll move and you'll see his eyes and stuff. Or like they even took off his hat at one point, which you rarely got. I was like, what the fuck? And
it's like the Judge Dredd thing.
Yeah, it fucking honestly was. There was a great moment. I really don't want to. I could spoil it. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, fuck it, I'll spoil it. So, because it's not. It's ridiculous. It's far fetched, but it's great.
Awesome.
So, like, it's all about a book that basically that leads you to a weapon. And what it was, the book secrets for it was all written in different languages. So the person that was going to read this book was going to be someone that was like an archaeologist, and you had to know these languages like Hebrew, Latin, French. And it was like, oh, okay, like, so they've actually put a lot of thought into this. And the Nazis are after it because they want to give this weapon to Adolf Hitler. And everyone's like, what? But Hitler's dead. And he's like, haha. And they show a picture, and it's Hitler in a wheelchair with grey hair. And you're like, what? Well, they're not going this way.
Hitler's the bad guy in this film.
So you're like, Hitler literally brought Hitler back to do this. It's like, Hitler's here. And you're like, what the fuck? So
Jink Hitler's somewhere in that hell or something like going like, I'm the bad guy in anime films?
Where are my rights? Where's my royalty checks?
Where's my third rights there? Right? What's going on here?
Where's my third rights?
He's too busy getting a pineapple shoved up his ass, mate. Have you not seen Little Nicky?
Little Nicky, yeah.
We can only hope.
Oh. But at the end of the movie, like, Hitler's there, and it just turns out, it's Lupin dressed up as Hitler. And you're like, oh, Lupin, you crazy son of a bitch. But great. If you've never seen it, great movie. Have a good time for it as well.
Interesting.
Yeah. Interesting, that's my word. How dare you?
It sounds genuinely okay, mate.
Yeah, it is. But what I really liked about it was the soundtrack. They ended up remixing a lot of the old classics as well, like with a new orchestrated take on it. And the intro is brilliant as well, because it has like his old. They sort of mixed the movies and TV series together, where they have like him doing his running action part with the spotlight, but the way they shoot it is like they did in the anime scripts and that. And I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
Right.
I would like to see more movies done like this, because it suits well for expressions. Like in anime, you can have like over the top facial expressions, and this one sort of does it well. It's kind of Pixar-esque. Like kind of looks like that kind of CG. But yeah, if you've not seen it or you are interested in watching it, then yeah, give it a go. I would highly recommend it. But that's enough of what I've been doing. That's generally Oh, that's just, I know, it was fucking pulling teeth. Let's just jump straight into some gaming news.
Gaming news.
Do.
Beep, 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 beep. That's the news coming in.
That's a fax, mate.
Ow.
Sorry.
You're going to hit us with the facts now, aren't you, Dom?
I'm going to hit you with all the facts.
Oh.
So, Guilty Gear Strive, Arc System Works' new game,
man,
been delayed.
So upset.
Everything's delayed, mate.
Yeah.
Dom, what did I text you like a week ago?
Mate, I'm all about the delays.
No, I messaged him. I messaged him the trailer, and I was like, "Are we buying this?" Like, because it's the same guys that made Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Not for a while, Hugh.
I didn't message you, Hamish. Do you know why I didn't message you?
Because he had this exact reaction.
Because it's an anime fighter game. Like
so you know I've already pre-ordered it, right? Okay.
Aye, obviously, it's not a game I think you'd be into. It's
See, if you Hugh, do you know if you pre-ordered it, we probably get it on Game Pass the next day, so maybe you should pre-order it.
I know, man. I'm so sick of that happening, by the way.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, I'm sick of you guys talking about anime, but...
I'll do what you did last week. Fuck off.
Hold on, Nate, get my bits.
Get his bits on.
Anyway, sorry, Hugh, continue.
I was messaging you because I was going to say, like, do you want half in for this, or... I just want to know if you were interested, because, like, we both love Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yep.
It's a great game. They did amazing, like, Arc System Works. How good are the animation? Like...
Seamless. These ones, absolutely seamless what they've done with, like, the art style in this, especially from a Guilty Gear. You know, I used to play Guilty Gear a lot when I was younger with on the PlayStation 2. The story goes all over the place, but you never play these games for the story. You play it for...
How pretty it is.
Yeah, you play it for how pretty it is, and you play for the gameplay. And I've watched a few people play the beta, because the beta, that's the reason why they've actually had to delay it. They received some good feedback from their open beta. So in the statement that they say, it's like, we made a tough decision to push this back from the 9th of April to June 11th, which a lot of people, like, that's like, you know, a day after Final Fantasy VII Remake, you know, the update comes out.
Oh, goddamn.
So it's like, you know, we had a lot of feedback from the recent open beta tests. We would like to make the most opportunity to provide the best game possible. So a lot of people are thinking it's to do with, like, they didn't expect it to be that popular because it's coming off the back of Dragon Ball Fighters. They didn't think that a lot of people would jump onto this game. They're like, oh, that's for all the Dragon Ball fans, but they didn't realise that they kind of set a standard now for fighting games. It's not just because it's anime, 100%. It's because it's a great fighting game. And a lot of people that, like, you know, it was fucking Evo Fighters. That was one of the first times, I think, a game that got released, got straight into the fighting game community, and it knocked out, like, I think it was Mortal Kombat they knocked out or something. It was like something
it was Marvel vs. Capcom.
Is it Marvel vs. Capcom? Sorry, that's right. Because
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite was awful for a lot of different reasons, but I won't go into it now. But, like, Fighter Z was so good from both a Dragon Ball perspective. Like, you were like, oh, they've done a lot of good work with these characters, a lot of fucking authentic animations from the anime. Like, they didn't just fucking, you know, do a couple of, like, fireball attacks. They actually went in and went, right, how do these attacks work? We'll put them into the way the attack works in the game.
Yeah.
But then people were like, oh wait, the Arc System Works games look like this all the time?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try out Guilty Gear. So, like, as soon as Guilty Gear was announced, I was like, I'm going to watch these trailers and see how I feel. Like, I'm not a huge... Dom, you beat my ass at Dragon Ball FighterZ just because I'm like, I just spam specials. I'm like, I just want to see the pretty animations, man.
Yeah, you just want to see the Kamehamehas and all that, yeah.
So I wanted this game just... Like, I watched Digital Foundry, obviously. That's the most called out YouTube channel on this channel.
Shut up.
Even more so than ours.
They showed, like, a breakdown PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox Series X, and, like, the difference, like, the upgrade is amazing. Like, the definition in these animations is so high now, and I was like, I think I'm going to pre-order this. Like, you know me, it takes a long time for me to decide whether to buy a game or not.
See, when you finally do get it, Hugh, are you going to play as Dr. Baldhead? As a character in it, Dr. Baldhead?
Is it actually? I was going to ask, like,
in the first one?
First Guilty Gear?
Dr. Baldhead, yeah.
I don't know if all the characters are in there, but there's a lot of Guilty Gears, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of Guilty Gears. I could just imagine it's just like looking for it. Who is bald and Guilty Gear? That is good. Was that what you actually did?
No, I just know a lot about Guilty Gear, mate.
No, you fucking don't.
Yeah, I do, mate. I know. I mean, if you ask me, it consists of primarily one-on-one competitive battles, and there's a task with
your
completing
forehead
their
is so
opponent's
shiny.
life gauge.
I can see Wikipedia on it.
Basically, have you seen the guy with the bag over his head, Hugh?
That's him.
In Guilty Gear. Yeah, that's him. He was previously, Dr. Baldhead. So
right, okay.
Yeah, so
it's just
he carries a big
here.
syringe.
Yeah.
Just put a bag. I think Hamish is trying to say put a bag over the head.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. Fuck Hamish. Anyway, sorry. No, I'm not sorry, Hamish.
I'm editing out that note there.
Anyway, Hamish, you're in this week. You're just City. All this week is just City. Is that
so
how
it's
you
going to be like, yeah, it's going to be like, ha ha ha, very funny, Hugh. You are the best. Ha ha, subscribe. With something like
Wow, that was like spot on of me. I really don't need to be here. I can just send you guys a script next time. And
I was like, it's just cut, like you just pull out the envelope and it's just drenched in beer. I'm like, what the fuck?
Do your work, Tom.
Silly Hugh, you forgot that Hamish was editing this one. Hugh sucks and Hamish is the best. Dom is genuinely okay.
No, but I'm actually going to buy this game, I think. I've kind of lost interest in Fighter Z just because I played it so much. Like, I played it to death, man. So, yeah, I'm gonna get is it Strive it's called, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a good soundtrack as well.
Do I buy it on the Xbox or PS5, Dom?
Oh,
is it even out for the Xbox?
It'll be out for the Xbox once it gets released. It should be out for it. Xbox One and then the Series X and PS4, PS5.
I think about Xbox just because it's that slight, it's got that little bit of power on the PS5.
Bit. The frame, like when you're playing those games competitively, that's all that matters. But you won't be playing it competitively, so
no,
if you don't know, I don't know. Maybe you will. You might.
Mate, I fucking suck at video. Generally, I suck at video games, but like I suck at fighting games mostly. Like I had Street Fighter 2 when it came out in 1993, something like that. I couldn't beat that game, man. Vega was so hard.
It says that,
there's always something jumping out the side of the wall, man, taking you down.
It says it's coming out PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Microsoft Windows, and Arcade. So I think it's maybe just on the PC.
Oh, it maybe a limited release, then, man.
I may just buy. Well, I have to buy it in the PS5 then.
You have to, mate. You have to.
Well, that's fine. I don't care either way. I'm not a fanboy, so yeah, let's get it done. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Anything else? What else for me you got?
So, what else have I got for you? Fall Guys was bought by Epic Games. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's so weird, man.
Isn't it so strange? Because like a lot of people are now worried with this merger that Fall Guys. I mean, I had a lot of fun with Fall Guys. I've not went back to it since I got my PS5 though. Like because I can re-download the games. I've not re-downloaded that. But a lot of people are worried because of what happened with Rocket League and when Epic sort of took that over. And was it Rocket League they took over? Yes, it was like like they were a bit worried, like because they've made it free to play. But the cosmetics weren't as good as it used to be. So they're a bit worried that this is what's happened, that Epic have now got the rights to Fall Guys and all the seemingly great advertisement they were doing on Twitter, where they were getting people to draw their own beans and highlight all their mascots and stuff. Like, Epic will just be like, nah, none of that. But then it's the same company that have basically fucking every single character in Fortnite. So what stops them from saying, here, if you do that, we'll put a wee bean character alongside of that? Fall Guys confirmed for fucking Fortnite as well, It's.
I mean, Epic have said like, we're not going to change anything, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to change their mind after people calm down about it. So
exactly.
Hopefully they don't. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't see what.
I haven't actually played Fall Guys, by the way. I've never played it.
It's a lot of fun. Me and Dom played it on a stream one time because we stream queue. I don't know if you've ever done it, but. Me and Dom streaming one time.
I like that, Hamish. I like that a lot.
That's sus.
And came at me.
So again, there's a lot of they were saying they were having a mobile version of it planned as well, and they were trying to see if they could release it in China. Epic have got some Chinese partners that are in, I at their company. But see, because of everything that's going on currently with Apple, they're a wee bit unsure of what's going on and what that's going to be like in the future. But it'll be something just to keep a wee eye on to see if Epic are ever going to try pull other sort of moves and buy other companies, because that's a British company that made Fall Guys, wasn't it? I'm sure it was.
No idea.
I don't actually know, man. I don't know enough about Fall Guys. This is a
Mediatonic, I'm sure it is.
It's a lot of fun. We should definitely get a shot of it sometime, because it is.
Yeah, it's a headquarters are in London. It's a British company. Yeah,
I love how this podcast is based on us going, I don't know, man. Like,
hey, we learn as we go. As people, we learn as we grow. As podcasters, we learn as we go.
Hey, if the listeners want to, know this kind of stuff, then they can fucking look it up themselves. They've got a phone.
I'm not here to entertain you and give you the news. Fuck you.
Fuck you guys.
Next bit that's on the docket as well is some good news for Hugh. Super Nintendo World Orlando is trying to be opening for 2025. Obviously, previously on the podcast, been to Japan and the news of Super Nintendo World in Tokyo, wasn't it?
Hold on, you guys went to Japan? How have I never heard?
I know, breaking news. Eh?
Hamish, have you been to Japan, mate?
Yeah.
Nah, no, you haven't.
How would you know, mate? I wouldn't invite you.
Sorry, Tom. Continue.
Oh, right, okay.
I had to try and laugh out his comeback.
That was pretty harsh.
I know he was going to come back with something, so I was like, right, you've got to drown him out.
You've got to drown him out with noise.
I mean, that's the sign of pure wit, Hugh. Rather than come back with something of your own, just shout and scream until you can't hear the opposition.
You know what? This is basically politics. Hugh is going down, scream until the guy can't answer. That's it.
They'll never know if you had a good comeback, Hamish, because they'll just hear me.
Yeah. The ship has sailed. 2 ships passed.
Yeah. Well played, Hugh. Well played.
Do you remember that? Hugh, she talking about 2 ships passed, and Hamish what? That never happens.
You had such a meltdown about quite a common saying, ships passing in the night.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, so funny. Anyway, so they're thinking of opening up in Orlando, California, and it's Super Nintendo World California, but they're thinking it's going to be in Orlando. It's going to be kind of the same one that they have in Japan, but it's going to be a couple of years before they'll release it. If you've not seen the footage, Super Nintendo World, Universal Studios in Japan, they had a direct where they went through absolutely everything for it, like the Mario Kart section. When we were over there, I think you took a picture here and just look, there's the top of it. You can see that there.
Yeah, I could see the platforming bit, I think it's like Super Mario Bros. 3, the wee platforming bit that you jump on. It looks really cool, man. I can't wait to go. I will be a kid. I already act like a kid, so I'll be more of a kid.
Be a larger kid.
I'll be pushing kids out of the way, you don't understand this.
You weren't here from the beginning.
Did you have Super Mario Brothers 1? No, you didn't.
Did you watch the Super Mario's Brother movie? No? Good. Don't.
I went to the cinema to see that shit.
I paid my dues. I've waited this.
You
can't have this good shit. I want it all now.
My dad asked me one time, my dad said, I took you to see that film, and halfway through I went, Dad, I think we're in the wrong film. This isn't Mario.
Just see, as we're talking about Super Mario, and obviously we're just at the start of March now, just for a wee reminder for all the listeners that obviously Super Mario 35 is going to be getting taken down from the eShop soon.
That's right.
End of March, and also 3D All-Stars also getting taken down. And
really, really bad ports of it as well.
Yeah, Super Mario Maker on the Wii U, you're not able to upload levels anymore. So it's
a wee bit of a shame for that, for Super Mario Maker 1. It's 1, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just 1. Yeah. Nintendo,'s like a fucking, what, that boyfriend that batters you but comes back and buys you flowers all the time. I don't know if that's a saying you want to put in the podcast on, but
no, Hugh, you just talk through your experiences and let the
honestly,
healing begin.
It's like a bad relationship, like an abusive relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, they do fucking great things a lot of the time, but Nintendo are awful. See, when people don't like to admit this all the time, but Nintendo are fucking shit.
I mean, they're obviously going for the whole kind of like Disney release DVDs only for a limited amount of time in the hopes it'll drive up, how rare they are and stuff. I get that they're going from that, but it just does seem like a slap in the face.
Why don't you just release these games normally?
Wow.
I was expecting something a bit more there, but yeah.
Do you know what fucking annoys me, right? They've got the apart from maybe the PlayStation 1, the Super Nintendo is the best backwards compatible library. It doesn't take anything to play Super Nintendo games, but see if you got the 700 or 800 Super Nintendo games, I think you'd probably have the most classics in there. You'd have the most 5 out of 5s, 10 out of 10s.
Yeah.
But they do nothing with it. They're fucking shit. But it fucking annoys me so much.
Yeah, I saw you were starting to look a bit disinterested, so I poked the bear and got you riled up.
No, man. It gets to me so bad, because Nintendo... Mario doesn't have that many games, right? And the world we live in, where Assassin's Creed gets a new one every year or every 2 years, Mario doesn't get that many games.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So you'd think, in between, they do the little bit of work to make, Super Mario Galaxy, remaster that. It wouldn't take, for a company like Nintendo, not a lot of effort.
Mm-hmm.
Put it out on a new console, it would sell fucking gangbusters, because that is a great game.
Yeah.
But they just won't do it. They are just constantly giving you blue balls with all this shit, and oh man, I'd punch Miyamoto if I seen him. I would. Fuck that guy. No. You know what, Dom? I don't want to go to Nintendo Land.
Yes,
well,
it's the space open for me.
Speaking of Nintendo, there's the rumours that have came out again for the new Nintendo Switch model that's been planned with an OLED screen and a 4K output. Now, I've got some insider information about this, and again, take it with a pinch of salt, like I did as well. And it's from a Samsung rep, should I say? That they've actually ordered quite a lot of OLED panels, some Japanese distributor. So this is what he said is it's kind of went up and it's a certain size, and he's it's very particular. And a news report came out today saying it was a 7-inch display, which he said was quite similar to what they were sort of looking for. So he says it's just it's weird for them to do this, and this is coming from Korea as well. So he says, so just take it with a pinch of salt. It might be a case, it might be nothing. It says, but this has been in the works supposedly for the last year. So again, that's maybe something a bit more solid to understand by, and it has been rumoured for a while that they were going to do Nintendo Switch Pro. And a lot of people are thinking that they've been holding off Breath of the Wild 2 for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense.
They said November
at the Direct.
Yeah, so they were saying that it was probably going to be Christmas time that they're going to do it, and they said, unfortunately, this is, again, from his words, it says they kind of learned some bad lessons from Microsoft and Sony, where they're thinking it's going to be limited stock, more limited than ever before, was the term that I heard. So these Pros will be about the same price as a Switch, probably £300-400, and they'll be impossible to get.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a shame.
After my rant there, this isn't going to be a surprise, right? I'm probably going to buy this piece of shit, right?
What is it we've got now? It's a 6.2 inch with a 720p, isn't it? The screen.
Yeah.
So it's not. I mean, 4K is obviously a big step up from 720, but 6.2 to 7 inches isn't massive size difference.
Well,
but
yeah,
it's more the fidelity.
Depends what guy you're talking to, Hamish.
Does 0.8 inches make a difference here?
Fucking definitely. Anyway, do you know what annoys me about a lot of the Nintendo stuff? Again, this is the start of a new rant. Someone reminded me of this, right? The first PlayStation Vita has a better screen than the Switch.
Yep.
And I honestly don't know why I do this. I expect less from Nintendo and get more excited about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? if Nintendo came out with an HD console, I was like, whoa, that's amazing. 10 years after I had an HD TV.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to look at myself, and I always say I'm not a fanboy, and then I go, fucking am.
And I think it's more. It's the you do get caught up quite a lot in the hype. See, when something's been hyped up and there's been like releases, or there's been demos, or there's been footage, there's screenshots, or there's reviews, or you go on there and you see like, oh man, look how many frames that's hitting. You're like, that's gonna be so good when I get to play that. The excitement maybe that's what the thing is, that you're just like, fuck, I just need it now. I want it now. And Nintendo just slaps you across the face, and you go, oh, maybe I shouldn't do this again. Maybe that, but then Nintendo go, Breath of the Wild 2, Hugh. Breath of the Wild 2. I didn't even play the first one, but I really want to play the second one.
I played the first one quite a lot. I never ever completed it. I just never got around to it. But because Horizon Zero Dawn was out at the same time.
Which game was that? Was that Game of the Year for you?
That was Game of the Century. I think it was Game of the Decade for me, wasn't it?
Game of the Decade for you.
But
it was up there anyway. It was definitely up there.
What annoys me is I bought the Switch on potential. I bought the Switch for Metroid Prime 4, and I bought it for the next Star Fox game, and I bought it for, Smash Brothers. I got Smash Brothers out of it. That's probably worth it. But I didn't buy it for fucking Splatoon 2 and 3 because I'm not a Splatoon fan. I bought it for the continuation of these fucking series that I love. And they just fucking tease me every fucking time. They gave me Star Fox Zero shite.
If those games were available on another platform, which obviously they never would be, but if they were, you don't think you'd have a Switch at all?
Nah, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
Mate, I'm a big fan of the Switch. I thought the idea of it was great. I did play a lot of arcade games on my Switch. I do like the SNES and the NES marketplace that they have there as well when you've got your online subscription. I loved Mario Odyssey, but that was a phenomenal game. But it's been 4 years again for that. There's been 4 or 5 years for Breath of the Wild. The Smash updates have been coming. Yes, they have been coming, but they've not been out of this world. I mean, having Sephiroth, that's all right. But then these other characters that you don't give two shits about. The online is trash. If they are releasing this new console, if they are planning to do it at Christmas, I expect a decent online infrastructure. I also expect an Ethernet port that, actually, maybe just a wee modem built into the stand. There's a lot of things that they don't bother doing because it's not that they don't want to do it. I genuinely feel that they don't understand how it works. And then with the connection that I will think you were even saying with Microsoft, we were all sort of hoping that maybe Microsoft would be like, this is Xbox Live. This has been going on for nearly 20 years, mate. This is how you're supposed to do online games, Nintendo. Fuck's sake. This is how...
Didn't they just find out that Nintendo were using Windows 98 as their server?
Yeah.
For a lot of their games?
Yeah. Windows 98 or Professional or Windows Pro or... Yeah, there was something fucking ridiculous.
Do you think it's probably more of a... we don't need to, because people will buy our systems and our games anyway?
What I think it is that it doesn't affect us in Japan, so who cares? I think it's genuinely that. It's more of it doesn't bother us because we've all got internet here, and we're going to just play with Japanese people. So why bother fixing it for everywhere else in the world? But then they can't be like that anymore, especially when they're wanting to open up all these places and the amount of money that they would lose potentially. People would just get fed up and they'll just go, "Fuck it, I'll buy a PlayStation. I can't be bothered with all this Nintendo."
An international company needs to cater to international customers.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't just rely on, just the East when, the majority of people in the West are dying for these things. They're just foaming at the mouth just to even just acquire, a bit of news about their Zelda or their Metroid. No one about Bayonetta 3, obviously, but no, about the big ones, the big ones. Okay, I think the last piece of news that we have for tonight, guys, is Crystal Dynamics announced that they're going to make it a bit harder to level up in Marvel's Avengers. The dead game that no one really plays or talks about anymore. So, I don't know how to feel about this. I think we were talking about it last time, Hugh, with the whole Anthem thing, and it's you kind of you want these games to succeed because it's IPs that you love.
That would be a really cool, good game.
Yeah, but then like obviously they dropped the ball so many times with this. I mean, when we were talking about it last time, we were like, how can you fuck up one of the greatest, if not the greatest property in the last 20 years? Like, we've had 10 years of Marvel movies, and you get a chance to make a game, and you fucking drop it. You drop it so hard that it goes into the ground, and now you basically ruined this type of game for everybody.
Yeah, it's like having all the ingredients of like a great Sunday dinner, but then you end up like dropping the chicken on the floor and into the dog's bowl and burning the vegetables, and
and then you cook the dog, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god, why have you done this?"
Yeah, it's just
it's a mess.
It had all the capabilities of doing it, but they fucked it. All the funding they needed because they got plenty of money, like you say, great IP, but they just fumbled it. And it's
a bit concerning because now that the new version of the game that is coming to PS5 and Xbox Series X had been delayed, and I think it is now coming. It is coming out soon, isn't it? Sure.
Yeah, they've got an upgrade coming, but it's at a point now where is anyone asking for the upgrade? Like,
yeah. See the tease that they did for Spider-Man. That was a big selling point, and it's still Spider-Man is nowhere to be seen on the PlayStation. They took out a favourite of a Marvel character to exclusively put it onto a Sony console. And what I've been told is that Black Widow acts a lot like Spider-Man. Her moves set's quite similar to like a Spidey moveset, and a lot of people may have been like, we probably been rumbled here that it's going to be a suit swap.
Yeah, basically just a different skin on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but with so it's going to be the 18th of March, so it is quite soon. It's a couple of weeks. This is going to be, and it's like Hawkeye. They've been just sort of teasing like, oh, Hawkeye's going to be in it, and everyone's like, they even made fun of him in like Age of Ultron and that. Going, this is a guy just running about with fucking.
I mean, there's already like Kate Bishop, like the newer Hawkeye in it, so surely that's going to be pretty much the same thing.
It's frustrating because being fans of video games, being fans of Crystal Dynamics, or being fans of Square Enix, to have someone, with all this money and all the potential to come out with something so rubbish, but yet still get this attention, when there's other games that deserve this sort of attention. Like, it's frustrating. Yeah, it's really frustrating.
There's also the fact, and it's the same with like any media, basically, like a movie that you've been looking forward to, or a game or TV show or anything. It's not like you can just try again tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's like this has been in development for years, and then if this one fucks up, it's probably going to be a good few years, and until there's another shot at it, and that's not even a definite then. You know what I mean? So you're just kind of left with nothing to do. Nothing.
That's kind of the biggest thing for this whole Marvel thing, innit? Like, there's been no real good games. Like, what Spider-Man, obviously, but Spider-Man stands on his own from the Marvel universe because
there's still a bit of a rift in between them.
Yeah, he's still bigger than the MCU. But there's the Iron Man games are trash. I heard the Captain America game was quite good, but
yeah, that was okay.
They didn't get a sequel, didn't get anything. The Thor game on this DS was good.
The 360 one was fucking trash. I think I watched Rory play it. I'm like, mate, what is this? He's like, oh, well, it's 4. I'm like, but that's not good enough to play a game where you're just, oh man.
I think I played that on my jailbroken iPhone, actually. It's pretty much the same game. And I was kind of like, because it was a phone game, I was like, this is okay. But if I was playing that on anything other than a phone, I would be like, what the fuck, man? I love my boy Thor, but no.
It's kind of weird. They just haven't managed to. Oh no! Wait, I'm thinking. Marvel Ultimate Alliance on the Switch was quite good.
Yeah, they're alright. I've not played the third one, but the first and the second one, they get very repetitive, and yes,
it's hard to fit all those powers in it. Like, it's hard to fit all those characters and all those different powers. It's just weird.
It's also hard to sort of have those characters be unique and stand out in a game like that as well. Where, not to say that all superheroes are the same. Like, they will have ones that are similar, like Hamish you just mentioned there. with Hawkeye in that. It's like, if you've already got a character that shoots arrows, what's the whole point of having another character that does the exact same thing? Like, I mean, what's the purpose apart from, it's that character from that game or that series that I like? And then if they're doing the same if you're having the same repetitive stuff where you're destroying robots, if you're having that Destiny layout without putting in the legwork that Destiny did, you're going to be like Anthem. You're going to just be you're just going to be dead.
Bungie took years to perfect that. Like, years. Like, they've honestly just got to a point now where they're in their groove. Like, and I think Destiny released in 2013, something like that. But
so here's honestly, the question. Do you think Avengers is ever going to get to that level? Do you think it's ever going to be good? If they were to continue, improving it?
There's a bit of scorched earth there, if you know what I mean. Like, there's a bit of, like, every time you look at it, unless it goes free to play, maybe, but, like, everyone's kind of like, it isn't, like, when it came out, it's not that good.
Is that not the same, though, with things like Destiny and Anthem?
No, well, Destiny had its hardcores. I don't know if Avengers has its hardcores.
I don't think anyone that I knew that had Avengers either traded it in or stopped playing it. They played the campaign, which was lackluster, and they went, well, I got my gameplay, I guess, out of it. I'm not going to go back and grind.
Yeah, most of what I've heard is like, it's cool when you play the campaign, you play an actual story, and then it's just
yeah. And I want to be optimistic about it because you want to make sure that you see good things happen, and you want to have good games. No one wants to buy a game and be disappointed in it.
Of course,
no one wants to buy Halo 5 Guardians and be like, oh man, that was a complete waste of time. That ruined my birthday. No one wants to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
No one wants to be, no one wants to wish a company to, have a bad product. They would like to,
especially Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics.
Yeah, two fucking juggernauts.
Yeah, like, here's the thing though: if you make Crystal Dynamics make the game they probably wanted to make, which is Tomb Raider style linear, maybe each character gets their own specially designed level.
Mm-hmm.
That shows off their specific powers. Yep. Like, that's what people wanted. They wanted Thor to be in a Thor level where he shoots fucking lightning at things and flies around and hits stuff with a hammer. That's what I want for Thor. Like, I don't want him to be on a battlefield with things he should be knocking out very fucking easily and looking like he's not because he hasn't leveled up enough.
Yeah.
Like, it's
the God of Thunder, motherfucker.
Did you see the power creep between Thor 1 and Ragnarok?
Mate, do you know what the fucking problem is? They saw the money. They were like, let's drag this out for as much as we can.
Yeah.
They didn't want to just have they didn't want they didn't want a lot of money. They wanted all the money, as Jim Sterling says.
Big Jim says.
But see, the thing is, like, to go back to Dom's original point, like, they're making an already grindy game grindier,
mm-hmm.
which is weird. They're prolonging the, oh man, I feel underpowered shit. I want to be a superhero. They're prolonging that again.
Which I don't get. Does it feel like that they're punishing the people that are still playing the game in that way? Is it the way they're just like, yeah, like, you still playing this game? You shouldn't be playing this game. Here, there's a wall. Get through that wall and then maybe we'll talk. Have you paid any money to this game?
Let's see who the real fans are. Like, you've already put in 60 hours. Let's see who's going to put in 120.
Yeah.
What was the thing they were doing where they were selling, like, costume packs for, like, a ridiculous amount?
God.
And you couldn't really earn them either.
No.
I can't remember what it was, but, like...
They're just cosmetics, Hugh. They're just cosmetics. They don't mean anything. You're like... Just why you, like, there was a thing that used to happen in games. Remember, Hugh? We'd play a game and you unlocked stuff for nothing.
Yeah, remember that? Where you would be like, whoa, I've unlocked, like, all this shit because I completed the game on hard. And now it's like,
Hugh,
hey...
Don't lie, you've never completed a game on hard.
Hey!
I don't think you've ever completed a game, actually.
Motherfucker, I have 5 platinum trophies. It doesn't
one of them is the Sineads.
The ones that you buy from the second-hand shop don't count, mate. You can't just put them on next to your PlayStation.
They're all Telltale games and Spyro.
And Avatar. Remember that?
Literally just put the controller down.
I think me and Hamish... I borrowed Avatar from a guy in work back in, like, 2009. I think I got all the achievements. I lent it to Hamish. Mate, I played so many bad games for achievements. Lost. Shit game.
Oh, yeah.
Played
terrible.
that. King Kong.
King Kong,
hated
yeah.
it. Fucking hated
It
it.
wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great either. It was a movie game. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So, I guess that's the end of the podcast, guys, unless you got anything else to say news-wise. But, Hamish, what are you up to this week?
Well, unfortunately, in a couple of days I'm back to work.
Boo.
I know, bad times. I'm already, trying to get things to look forward to. I got me and a couple of friends, Sinead and Raymond, tickets to Catherine Ryan, front row, by the way. Just in case she notices me and falls in love with me, you never know.
I didn't think you were allowed near her after your Instagram.
Hey, she responded very nicely to me, right? Tickets to that, tickets to Daniel Sloss and stuff like that. I'm literally just buying things to look forward to, just because, you get those holiday blues where you're like,
Yeah.
oh man, going back to work. And it feels like it's been months. I'm going to go back in and be like, so how do I do this job again? But people are going to be, I'll be like, well, so what's new? What's happened? Nothing. It's been 11 days or however long it's been. I'll be like,
yeah.
Something must have happened, but nah. But so yeah, pretty much just go back to work. Don't have any other plans. Maybe try and stream some Animal Super Squad so that you guys can witness the greatness of the game.
I'll give up one of my streaming days if you want one of them, and I'll stream on the weekend if you want. But
well, I'll just see that's the thing about shifts, mate. I have no idea when I'll be free, so we'll work it out. We'll talk about it and we'll figure it out.
All right, mate.
Awesome.
I can't wait.
Awesome. Hugh, what have you been up to, man? Or what are you going to get up to this week, should I say?
I'm going to play Ghost of Tsushima, and then obviously stream Yakuza. I really want to play Yakuza off stream because I just want to get into the game, but I'm just going to play Ghost of Tsushima, and I've got a couple of smaller games on the PlayStation, like a couple of 8-hour games. I'm going to try and sneak my way in as well. But other than that, mate, there's not a lot of time to do anything now. So that's it. I might watch WandaVision so you guys can. We can talk about it properly.
Don't watch it so we can talk about it properly. Watch it because I think you'll really enjoy it, mate.
Yeah, true.
There's only 9 episodes, and the first 6 or something like that, 5 or 6 are only half an hour long, and then they get longer, so that it's not even a long slog.
Yeah.
I don't like.
No, I think it's quite an easy watch. There's a few things that once you've watched it here, we can sort of nitpick at a few things, but
yeah, even if you've not seen all of it, it'd be good to see where your head's at next time. But
yeah, so I am streaming Yakuza Tuesday, Thursday, 8:30. I'm going to stream now at 11:30. Tuesday, Thursday. What did I say?
You said Tuesday, Thursday. I was just double checking.
Alright, Tuesday, Thursday on our Twitch channel. Dom's streaming Monday, Wednesday, and Hamish is going to stream when he can, and he will announce that, won't you, on the Instagram?
On the Twitter.
Guys, I'm the wild card. Who knows when I'm going to be streaming?
I'm ready to do it right now.
You listening right now? Go to Twitch. It's me. Nah, I'm probably not there. Chances are.
If you
don't do that.
I can, but,
the ham cam.
And I might play Final Fantasy 14 at some point. I might actually stream me creating my character.
Mm-hmm.
How long is that going to take?
A fucking ages, man. I looked at a YouTube video about it, and they're like, you can change everything, and I'm going to be
I know
overwhelmed with options.
You'll start from the top, and you'll go bald now, like you have, because you'll be like, I want to be this character. You'll get to the eyebrows, and you'll be like, oh, this is taking too long. Right, okay, randomize, click, go. You don't have the patience.
Stop calling me out like this.
Put his ass on blast, man.
I know, but I want to play Final Fantasy 14, so
yeah.
If anyone wants to play with us, send us a DM.
Yep,
Teach me how to play.
You get us through Instagram or Twitter, definitely, if you want to join in that.
And what about yourself, Dom?
So again, I'll be streaming Monday and Wednesday, try to finish off Breath of the Wild, and then once I do that, I'm thinking of a couple of games to continue to stream next. I'll need to double check with one of the games because one of the companies that when you stream on Twitch doesn't really like you doing that, so I'm just going to double check to make sure that's okay to do.
Is that Nintendo?
Is that a thing?
It's not Nintendo. Yeah, it is a thing. It is a thing. Some people don't like doing it because they say it ruins the enjoyment for certain people when it's like, alright.
That's up to them to fucking click on it if they.
Sorry, Dom, did I ruin that?
You did, Hugh. You did. That's okay.
I'm going to try to
just bleep him. We'll bleep you.
Bleep. Yeah, well.
Oh, was that bleep?
yeah, it's fine. We'll do that. Apart from that, I am going to see if I get a chance to watch Coming to America, the sequel to Coming to America.
That's the same
Obviously.
film.
No, well, one has a 2 and the other one has the number 2 in it.
Yeah. That just came out, was it like yesterday or something like that? Or?
Yeah, it just came out. Yeah, it came out yesterday on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see if that's going to be, reprising a role from 1980s or so. Was it late 80s, early 90s?
I think it was 80s, yeah. I think it was.
Yeah, so, and like, I might go on like an Eddie Murphy binge because I was watching some clips from Trading Places.
Oh, I
love that movie, man. Love that movie. They're just talking about like showing Eddie Murphy, the characters Eddie Murphy's in Trading Places, how the stock market works. And he talks about like a bit of ham when he goes like that. And this is not a bit of you, Hamish. And they can make it into bacon that you can put into a BLT, which is a bacon, little tomato sandwich. And then it cuts just to Eddie Murphy just looking deadpan at the camera, just like, is this guy fucking serious? Breaking the fourth wall. But I might start watching some of his stuff again because I do love Eddie Murphy.
Legend.
But before we finish up, I would like to have a public service announcement.
Oh.
If you ever have a flatmate that likes to clean, make sure that they don't clean angry. Make sure that, if they're upset, maybe run them a wee bath, ask them how their days are, because sometimes they'll just go into your kitchen and just destroy things without meaning to.
What's he done?
So, Big Jason has came into the podcast a few times, just to sort of come and stream. Was angry cleaning. Never clean when you're angry, never drive when you're angry, don't clean when you're angry. And was cleaning so hard on our cooker that he managed to destroy it.
He told me that he was like I don't know why he was, but he was like wiping and just fucking smashed the cooker into bits.
Yeah,
like Hamish he's the white Sasquatch man. Like.
So it's a wee PSA: don't clean while you're angry, and feed your giants.
Yep. See if you're angry, just put on one of our podcasts. We've got very relaxing voices, and as long as Hugh isn't shouting over me, then it can
we saying
it can be quite relaxing. So.
Yeah, we're all like easy on the ears, hard on the eyes.
Yeah, be thankful this isn't a video.
a face for radio, as they always say.
Absolutely.
So that's the podcast for this week. My name is Dom, and that's a goodbye from Hamish.
Bye everyone, thank you very much for listening.
That's a goodbye from Hugh.
Bye everyone, I thank you more than Hamish does for listening.
I was just thinking, like, I need to say like everything to stop to so that you can't say it now. He's like, thanks for listening, see you again next time. I hope you've enjoyed this. I need to say everything so that Hugh's just sitting there twiddling his thumbs like, bye. Well, that's what he usually does, but yeah, guys, right. I appreciate you more than Hugh does. Hugh's been sitting on his phone for the last hour, so that just goes to show it all. What
I should have done was get my boots on, Hamish, and fuck up. Yeah, that's going to be a thing for the next 5 podcasts.
Can I end this podcast already?
No.
Bye, guys, and see you all next week.
Bye. Thanks for listening. Bye. Don't let him in. Bye.
Thanks more for listening. No, I'm thanking you for listening.